Hi everyone. Before anything else, I just want to say thank you again for your support. We reached a new milestone, the 10,000 subscribers for the Pride Diaries. So while we await for the next 6 episodes of Wynonna Earp Season 4, I did some research about the Earp family and I compiled them for you. So I hope you guys will enjoy it and you'll get knowledge about the Earp family. So take care. Bye.
It's always a joy for fans everywhere when networks actually try hard to come up with compelling characters. When Wynonna Earp first premiered back in 2016, it was a breath of fresh air, simply because there was nothing quite like it around. When it comes to the show, there really is something for everyone. The thrill of old-fashioned westerns, the workings of the supernatural world, family curses, and loving relationships. But how much do you know about the Earp family, both real and imaginary? Let's take a look at 10 facts fans probably had no idea about. 10. The real Wyatt Earp had no children. The entire show is based on the premise that famous gunman Wyatt Earp killed 77 enemies that keep coming back from the dead. It's the eldest heir's job to fight them and defeat them all, and Wynonna is the most recent member of the family to carry the white. Over the show, we've been introduced to several other past heirs, all of them direct descendants from the great Wyatt Earp, which means, of course, that none of this would have possible if the legendary Earp hadn't left any offspring. When it comes to the real-life side of things, however, that's exactly what happened. As much as we wished something besides the legendary status of Wyatt Earp was real, it isn't. The original patriarch of the Earp family took his name to the grave and left no children that we know about. Thank God for the artistic liberties. 9. Waverly Earp is a multilinguist. Undoubtedly, one of the most enticing elements of the series is the relationship between Waverly and her half-sister Wynonna. Take away all the supernatural elements and we're still left with a beautiful tale of the sisterly love that, in the end, has the power of conquering all. Waverly might be the youngest, but that doesn't mean she isn't talented. The character is an avid book reader and incredibly studious. She made it her mission to research everything she could possibly find about the Earp family curse. Besides, she is also close to being polyglot. Waverly speaks 4 languages, including English and Latin. 8. Josiah Epps was very brave. It's also been hinted at a few characteristics from previous heirs, Josiah Earp being one of them. Josiah was actually the first heir, the son of Wyatt himself. Two-Faced Jack describes him as being incredibly courageous, and even though he tragically died at the hands of the Seven, no one doubts it. 7. Waverly Earp was made for the show. As it just so happens with TV shows that are adapted from other sources, namely books and comics, the showrunners took a few creative liberties. One of those liberties implied creating new storylines and characters, including Wynonna's younger sister, Waverly. And it's great that they did because these two make for a fantastic on-screen sibling relationship. 6. The real Wyatt Earp had 4 wives. Just because good old Wyatt Earp didn't manage to produce any offspring that we know of, this doesn't imply that he didn't have his fair share of fun while he was still alive. We all know Wyatt Earp was one heck of a gunman, but he did more than just fight. Wyatt Earp actually had 4 different wives. He could be considered the American Henry VIII of his time, except he didn't execute any of his wives. He just really liked women, so he took it upon himself to marry 4 of them. 5. Michelle Gibson was Carnival Queen. There's not much we know about Wynonna's mother, Michelle Gibson. The show dedicated so little time thinking about the place and storyline of this character. We do know her daughter loves her, going as far as visiting her in prison and naming her firstborn daughter after her, alongside her paternal grandmother. We also know that back in 1996, Michelle Gibson was Carnival Queen, a piece of information granted by a poster on display in Pussy Willows. 4. Edwin Earp was a star heir. While Josiah Epps has been deemed the bravest heir, Wynonna's grandfather, Edwin Earp, has been referred by Jack of Knives as the most ambitious heir. This probably stems from the fact that Edwin was only the heir for 11 months, but he killed pretty much all of the 77 revenants in that short span of time. Quite the accomplishment, even for an Earp heir. 3. Wynonna Earp was a groupie. Wynonna Earp was also a groupie. Yes, you heard it right. Before becoming the heir to Wyatt Earp, she toured with the band 9 Inch Nails for about a month. Why? Because she's Wynonna, and she can, that's why. It definitely adds to the interesting character that she is. No doubt about that. 2. Willa and Wynonna used to be close. Willa's storyline on Wynonna Earp was heartbreaking to witness. Originally set to become the heir to Wyatt Earp, Willa was thought to be dead, which prompted Wynonna to take the place of the eldest living heir. Willa was actually alive, and she ended up turning evil, going so far as betraying her own kin several times. Many would agree that she deserves what happened to her on the story. But with sisterly love being such a recurring theme on the show, it might not come as a huge shock that the 2 eldest sisters were actually incredibly close growing up. According to Willa, they were like 2 peas, which just makes her destiny even more depressing. 1. Wyatt Earp was abusive. Not many details were revealed about Wyatt Earp, the heir from 1993 to 2000 and biological father of Wynonna and Willa. Besides his tragic death at the hands of Wynonna, accidentally of course, his previous existence is somewhat immersed in mystery. However, we do know that his wife left him and the children in 1998. And it's Willa herself who indicates Wyatt was violent towards their mother, and that she would frequently hide with Willa, Wynonna, and Waverly in the edge of town when things got out of hand. In hindsight, it's probably best that more time isn't dedicated to a character that seems so terrible. So there you go, the 10 facts about the Earp family. So while we await for the next 6 episodes of Season 4, we keep our hopes high to get more seasons of Wynonna Earp. The next 6 episodes are planned to air sometime within next year, 2021. For more Wynonna Earp, WayHaught, and Domkat updates and news, please do click the subscribe button.